talk a little bit about materials and how we can customize your Revit model rather than just using some of the default materials found in the material browser. So in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and go to the Manage tab, and we're going to find the materials browser, which is right here in the very first option. And for right now, we're going to see, here's all the list of materials. If you want to see what are some ones that are not quite loaded in your project, you can always expand the home button here, expand the AEC materials. So for example, if we're looking for like a tile, you can see here are the different types of tile that may not be loaded up here, but you can go ahead and load. And so there's some different ones that you can do. So like here, a tile, stone, and ceramic mix. You can actually see this is what some of the different options that it has and some of the different things there. So if you don't like what's there, you can also, for example, if we use the carpet as what we're starting with, by default, carpet, if we search for that, is just available in the red. And that's good, but maybe not everybody likes that. So I'm actually going to right click on this, and I'm going to say duplicate the material and the assets. And in this one, I actually want to find more like a gray carpet. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and rename this. I'll just do a little thing where it just says carpet-gray. You can find that here in the identity tab as well. All these other options are going to stay the same. You're going to see here for the graphics, we can actually choose what kind of color. I'm going to just choose a gray color. And then it'll have this little sand appearance just to give it some texture. I'm going to go ahead and check the appearance tab. And in order to do this, I'm going to go ahead and go down here to the asset browser. I'm going to open up the appearance library, and then I can go ahead and find the flooring option, expand the little flooring option, and just filter out just for carpet. There's one in here I've already kind of spotted that I like as I scroll and kind of look through as well. It's about a medium pile. It's more of like a dark gray color. So I'm going to go ahead and change it out. That looks pretty good. So I think what I'm going to do is if you like something like that, or you find another one here that you like, you can always switch that out. And I'm going to close the asset browser and go ahead and say, okay. Now what I can do is when I go and select my flooring, so when it just has my carpeting there, I can choose the material, select the new one, select okay. And there's my new gray carpet in there. You can see if I zoom in on it, it's all there and showing that pattern. Okay. So that's one of a couple ways to kind of get some custom materials and make your home look a little bit more like what you're looking for. The other option is we can use the siding as kind of an example here. Is I have this wood horizontal siding, and it looks okay, but some people may like maybe a different color, or maybe even to go more of a vertical pattern. Whatever your choice is, we can do a lot of things with this kind of materials browser. So I'm going to go into materials. I'm going to go ahead and search for siding. And this has got a wood horizontal siding. Maybe I want to go more of like a vinyl siding appearance, and maybe I want it to be just a little bit of a different kind of a look to it. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on it. I'm going to duplicate the material and the assets. For right now in the identity tab, where I'm going to go ahead and change out, it's still going to be horizontal for me, but I want vinyl, which is more of a plastic material. So instead of a wood siding, we're going to go ahead and go vinyl, and then change the classification to more of plastic. So I'm going to go to the graphics tab. We're going to change the pattern to be horizontal. And the render appearance, I'm just going to check this box to say, let's just use that. So then I'm going to go into the appearance. This is what it looks like in the realistic view. So rather than going through the asset browser, I actually found one online that I really like that looks like this. So, and even one you can even change, and you can select, usually my recommendation is Revit textures, and then whatever it is that you're looking for. So Revit textures, vinyl siding, Revit textures, carpet, whatever it is that you're looking for, tile, you can usually find some good things. But you want these pictures that like are kind of seamless. Like here's some vertical siding that you can use too. But all I've done is I've saved this picture. So like this one that's here, I'm going to right click on it. I'm just going to say save image as, and I've already done that and saved that into a folder right here on my computer. So when I go back into Revit, what I can do is if I just click on the name of the file, I can actually find that folder, which I have right here in a Revit textures folder. And here's my vinyl siding. You'll see there's a couple other siding options I chose just to play around with and see. But here's vinyl siding. I'm going to say open. Now, what's going to happen here is I'm just going to go ahead and say okay. And then if I select my wall and go into edit type and then change that siding type to the vinyl, I'm going to say okay and say okay once more. And you can see there it's going to bring on the new picture. However, it looks kind of odd. And the reason why is because it's the scaling. So usually these panels are about anywhere from about 6 to 8 inches. So it depends on what kind that you buy. And it's the scaling that's kind of throwing that off. And there's, in our picture, you can see there's about 4 full panels that we're kind of looking at here. So the scaling is definitely kind of off. So I'm going to go ahead and go back into the materials browser. You'll see this is the siding, and then here we go. If I choose the little arrow next to there, you're going to see I'm going to choose edit image, and a little box pops up, and I'm going to scroll down, use the little scroll bar here until I go and see the sample size. Right now it's got this set at 9 foot, which is really blowing this up and expanding those out quite a bit. So rather than it being 9 foot, I probably want to go more of like just a 2 foot option. So I'm going to go 0 inches, 2 foot. If I have the little chain link highlighted, that means it locks the aspect ratio, keeps it from getting out of proportion. It'll automatically calculate that bottom number, and I'm going to say done, and then I'm going to hit apply. And you can see that looks just a little bit more realistic compared to what was on there, and that's because of that scaling option. So depending upon what kind of picture and what kind of option you have, you might have to play around with that scaling to make that work. Just to do another example, we end up having in the materials, maybe I want to stick with a wood siding. So I'm going to duplicate this material. I still want it to be wood. I still want it to be horizontal. And maybe we'll just say that we're going to say this is blue. So this was one of the colors that I found. As far as this goes, a lot of the other options here are really going to stay the same. I'm going to probably choose that horizontal pattern. And then on the appearance, I had another picture in that folder that I can go ahead and pull in. Now, this is just to show you that some of the pictures, as I go to add these in, I'm going to go ahead and select my wall, and let's change it to that new material type that I just created, the blue siding. This one here looks appropriate. So it depends on what kind of picture you grab. This one I've just grabbed, it works really well. Depends on how it's scaled, how it's made. It's just kind of how that works. So that's really kind of what goes on as far as being able to create different materials and textures and things of that nature.